check that out. That's definitely a saucer. So those large lights are right there in front. Then look at all of these orbs that came along with the saucer. I can see that saucer shape right from here without the camera or anything. I can see it with my naked eyes. And that's how big it looks. There's a shot, a wide shot of the whole place, and you can still see the saucer. That gives you the idea of the size that it is. And it's right in back of those humongous lights. That's the middle of the saucer. And you see the dome, and then you see the size. I gotta back off to show the size. It's a lot bigger than what it was before, so I have to back off. There's what it looks like. And it always comes with all those little orbs accompanying it all over. So this is getting a little out of hand, I'd say. All of these things just showing up in Toronto. That's right downtown, that saucer. I mean, that's right downtown. And it's right above those really bright lights I was shooting yesterday to show all the orbs around them. Now it's not orbs around them, it's saucers and orbs, large ones too. I'm going to back off some more to give a wider shot. Give the shot of the whole thing. All those orbs, they come with that saucer. And they're orbs, alright. They're not lights on the street. Look, here's a white and a red one together, and a yellow one, two of them on the bottom. And look at these red ones. These are not lights, these are orbs. And there's the saucer, and it looks like it's made of orbs. Either that or it has all these white lights on the bottom and yellow lights on the bottom. But it could be just the whole thing is made out of orbs, I don't know. Look at the size of that thing. And that's a saucer. Wow, he just vanished. Did you see that? The saucer just vanished. There it goes back. No. That's where there it is. But you saw it vanishing. And that's what it does. It's there for a while and then it just vanishes. Having trouble with my stand. I can't seem to get it lined up. Now look at the size of that saucer. It's bigger than it was before. It's even a bigger one. It's probably not the same one. It's a bigger one. And these things are just all over the place. I mean, they're just coming in here like Toronto was their airport. And they don't use the airports we have. They just land anywhere or hover. They don't even land. They just hover around. And they bring all these orbs with them. The large orb clusters, I mean. They accompany them. Yeah, that's a definite saucer. I can't believe nobody's seeing these things all over this city. I mean, that's a definite saucer right there. It's got all these orbs or lights, whatever those things are. Looks like an energy field all around it. And there's a whole bunch of orbs all over. Not only the red ones, but lots of smaller ones. Back up to show the entire area. Now that's what that looks like from here without the camera. Just a little further, but I can see it without the camera. I don't need a camera to be able to see it. You can clearly see that that's suspended in midair. It's not on anything. Those lights there, the bright lights, are hundreds of feet high. And this is like right over them and behind them a bit. That's clearly some kind of ship or vessel, a vehicle anyway, and it flies. And that is no that is not just lights or anything like that. That's a vehicle. So I don't know what's going on in that part of the city, but whatever's going on, these things are coming around. And they're not only coming around there, they're in a lot of different parts of the city. I just showed 3 tonight. And these are all new spots. So they're appearing all over, everywhere. Every night they're someplace else and different. And then they return to these places. There's a lot of them all over. And now I got some right next to me. So bright it's like daylight. I'm gonna just turn off the camera for a minute and shoot the ones. Okay, I'm over here to get a better angle on that saucer-looking thing. Now you can get a clear shot what it looks like, especially those orbs on the bottom There's what it looks like up in the air without those big lights in the way. Can clearly see that that's some type of vehicle. It certainly doesn't look just like a normal cluster that I see around here. Now that's a vehicle that may be composed of a whole lot of clusters, because they do make ships with their own mass. They combine all together and create a real ship, because they can shapeshift into any type of form, I mean, matter or energy. And they can be either pure light or plasma state or any material state in the third dimension. So these things shapeshift all over the place. They can be anything, and they can get together into a large cluster and create a ship like that with their own body mass. They have no problems in doing that. So that's probably a bunch of clusters together to form a ship. Look, you can even see all the orbs that make it up. But no matter what, it's a saucer. This is what people see when they see a saucer, and this thing can be any color. It could look like metal. I've seen it looking like metal. It could be black, could be gray, it could be glowing like it is now. It could be anything, but it would still be a shape of a saucer like that. So these things are nothing to be played around with, and people got to start thinking more seriously about what they are. Look at that. That's the kind of orbs it has on the bottom, right there, like that white one. And look, the whole bottom is just down. So that's like a string of orbs making up the entire bottom. And there's more orbs making up the whole thing. And look at these like energy bonds. And look at all these red orbs that are actual clusters. There's a red and a white one and a yellow one. 3 of them together. Here's 2 red ones. Here's some more red ones. These are clusters, and they accompany this thing. It doesn't show up by itself. They sort of keep an eye on it. It's almost like an entire Air Force wing coming into Toronto, except they can hover. Check that out. That's a big saucer. It doesn't matter that it's made from orbs. It's still a big saucer. That's 100 meters or more. I can't believe nobody else has even reported it or sees it. I just can't get over the fact that no one sees these things except for me. And I'm going to take video with the other camera and still shots to show that this thing is really here. And that's not a saucer, I don't know what is. And that's right downtown. It's funny that it's right smack in downtown Toronto. I wonder if anyone will see it or report it or anything. Look at the size of that thing. That thing's got to be 100 meters across because it's taking up a good portion of downtown there. So you can see that it's got a lot of orbs. So let me tighten this so it doesn't move. It's got a lot of orbs in it. It's not just one solid thing, but it's in the shape of a saucer. And that saucer is made up of orb clusters. Now they can just as quickly turn that into looking like metal and be silver in a moment, because they can just shapeshift and create metal out of themselves. No problem. I've seen it happen. I just want to see these lights here, if they're making any clusters. Yeah, they're making small clusters too. You see? They're all making more clusters. That's what's happening. They're just making more of themselves, these things. And it doesn't look good to let this go on. It's going to cost us. I just know it. So I'm going to turn out this camera now and try and take some still shots and some video, even if to see if my other zoom can reach that far. I'll check it out in a minute. So I'm going to stop this camera. Okay, so I'm back in this camera now. Again, this is the front section or the right side of the saucer. And there's the middle, the hatch. And this is the left-hand side. You can notice that the right-hand side is longer slightly than the left-hand side. And you can see the orbs all over. Now look at that thing just in a hover right downtown. If nobody else notices this thing tonight, I don't know, then everybody's asleep and there's no use, because this thing is like 100 meters long. And I don't know how anyone can miss it. So I stopped taking video and pictures with the other camera because they marked my other camera, and it's a spot on the lens that you can't ever take off, but they can tell right away as soon as you turn it on where you are, and then they just blur the whole thing, and you have to take a few shots if you're lucky enough to get them off, and a few minutes of video, and then forget the camera. It's useless. So you have to keep buying new cameras. Every time they mark one up, you gotta get another camera, because they're pretty useless to take pictures of them afterwards. You can only use it for some other stuff, but not to take pictures of them. So I'm gonna back off to show that thing how it's hovering. That's right downtown. It's slightly west, about a kilometer west of the CN Tower. Looks like it's next to around the exhibition somewhere. I don't know if it's at the exhibition, but it's in that general area. Or it's either around the exhibition or even farther west at the lakeshore. But it's possible that it's at the exhibition. And this is not the exhibition. There are no saucers ever at the exhibition. I go there every year, and there's nothing like this on the exhibition. You can see that white orb on the right hand side on the bottom there. And there are others, but that one is very pronounced. And you can really see the other red orbs. Like, they always show up with that saucer. And they keep an eye on it. Okay, I just got a warning my battery is gonna go. So that's the far shot. Going a little bit closer. I'm gonna do all the distances just so we can see what it is. A little bit closer. Okay, this is close. There's the top, there's the bottom. You can see the white orbs all over the bottom. Back off. That's what it looks like. It's hovering right a couple of 100 feet, maybe 500 feet up. It's not that high, it's just like right over the buildings. Actually, there are some buildings that look even taller than that. That's about 400 or 500 feet up It's not too high. Just gonna show that these are orbs. You can see the red and the white one. You can see the red ones. You can see all the red ones. You can see all the white ones that are on the saucer shape. Like I said, this is a saucer made out of orbs. This is not a metal looking saucer, but it can be. They can just change their state of matter into metal. And it's no problem for them. They just change from one state of matter to the other. And that thing can look silver, really polished, or like stainless steel. It can look black. It can look gray. It can look glowing white, or any other color glowing. Or it can look like that. So they have no trouble in making it look like anything they want or anything you want to see. Whatever's in your head that you expect to see when you see a flying saucer, that's what it's going to look like. Because they can read your mind and they just project whatever you want to see. But in reality, it's made out of orbs. Look, it's all made out of orbs. So no matter what kind of a saucer you see, this is not a military saucer or anything like that we back engineered. These are aliens, and that's an alien machine, and it's made out of living things, and those living things are orbs, and in this case they're orb clusters. They're not individual orbs, they're huge clusters of orbs. And look, it's hovering at 500 feet about, right over Toronto, just a kilometer west of the CN Tower. That is either down by the lake or by the exhibition. And it's got all those red orbs as an entourage, and it's got those bright white lights. That's where its station is. And I guess that's the reason they have those bright lights, besides incubating all the organisms that are in the air and making more of these things. But look at that. That's your saucer from Toronto tonight. Now that thing has vanished a number of times with both cameras, this camera and the other camera I was using, and it has a tendency to just disappear, but you know it's still there, it's just invisible, and then it can just zip off and fly off real fast, and it's gone in a blink of an eye. I've seen all the different things happening with this, but tonight it's just sort of in a hover, and it's in a hover at a couple of hundred feet, up less than 500, I'd say. It's not that high up, because those lights are